Hi there Minerva makers. Today it is time for another tool product video where I choose a tool from the website and show you how to use it. It might be a tool if you're getting started with sewing, or it might be something to aspire to if you're an improving sewer. Today we're going to take a look at the use of a clapper, what it's used for and why you might need it. A clapper is used in conjunction with your iron, so you don't use it on your own very often, although you can. So you get some heat from your iron and the clapper holds the heat or steam in the fabric. It's particularly useful if you've got a fabric where you can't directly put the iron sole plate onto the fabric. So for example, a faux leather or something with a special texture. That way you can get your seams nice and flat, but you're not directly putting the iron on the fabric. This is the Canton jacket from Cashmerette. It's made in a faux leather and I used the clapper throughout because it has princess seams. I used it around the shoulder head so they're really nice and smooth, and I didn't know I needed one until I started this project, and I bought this clapper at the same time as making this project here. Quilters find it particularly useful because it can really hold your seams open crisply, and that means that then you can get a next good seam intersection, so you get really good joins in your quilting. Has a few other features on it, has a little pointed tip here which is useful if you're wanting to get into the corner of collars. You can use these edges or this right angle edge, so all part of the clapper might be used in your pressing process. So what is a clapper? Well, it's a heavy piece of dense wood with a really tight grain line, so it's really smooth on the edges. The grain of the wood is a hard wood, so it can trap the steam and the heat in your fabric pieces. You can't make one yourself out of any piece of wood. If it's a soft wood, then all of the grain will start to split open. Some are just the flat block here, and you might have a recess around for holding onto, but this millward one from Minerva has a handle which makes it really comfortable to use, and you can also use all of these shapes on the top. So the point is used for collars and tricky places. You can use this top bit just to press one single seam, and you've got a right angle on the end with quite soft corners so it won't damage your fabric. Let's have a look of the different ways that you use a clapper. I'm working on a handbag, so I've got a pleather that I'm using for the strap and the bag base, and I can't put the iron directly onto the right side surface. I've done a little test and I can put it on the reverse, but only on a very low temperature, so it doesn't really hold the seams open. So I'm going to add a little bit of steam to that area and then use my clapper to hold the steam in the fabric. The steam is more used for a woven fabric like a wool or a cotton, but in this case I'm holding the heat in the material. You can leave the clapper in place. It's quite a heavy piece of wood, so if I want to go away and just leave that to completely cool down, it will press the seam really well and it will be nice and flat. When you remove it, you have a really nice flat seam that you couldn't ordinarily get with just finger pressing or any fabric that you can't put the iron directly onto. It also works if you need to press in a seam allowance. So I need to do that on this bag strap. I'm going to use the press cloth in combination with the clapper. So I'm going to press under the seam allowance. And replace with the clapper. That way I'm holding in the heat that I put into the fabric, but I'm not adding any extra heat and getting to a melting temperature. This can help if you are constructing bag straps or you're working with fabrics that you can't just press that in on its own, but with the clapper it's held the heat in It's got a really crisp finish now, so the bag strap will look really professional. Now, because I have that pleather all pressed really well with a clapper, putting the lining on the back of the strap is nice and simple because I can't put a pin through the pleather, so I don't need quite so many clips because everything is pressed and it will be easy to control under the machine. So having the pleather pressed in place has made it much easier to sew. I didn't have to have so many clips in the way of the sewing machine, so I could just sew freely. Quilters like to use a clapper because it really helps to get a crisp seam. So you add some heat and some steam if you've got a cotton, and then hold that heat into that seam with the clapper. You can hold it down for about 10 to 15 seconds, but you can always go back if it's still hot. You've got some more heat to add to the seam. It really helps when you come to put your next pieces on because it helps to line up the seam intersections. You can see the difference here between the clapper one at the front and just the pressed one at the back with a slightly bouncy seam. When they're put together, you get a really clear intersection and you can press it from both the wrong and the right side. So add some heat again and quickly on with the clapper. Creates a really smooth surface. If you've got some bulkier areas, you can also press from the back. Your blocks will be really flat and professional, and it helps with that intersection in the middle. If you've got pieces that have more intersections, say half square triangles, then it's really useful because you'll get more bulk at your seams. You can add the clapper on the back and get everything really nice and flat. If you're working with collars, sometimes in a pattern you are advised to cut your under collar, so the one that goes underneath the outer collar, down by 1/8 of an inch or a couple of millimeters to ensure that your under collar rolls under. What you can do is take your under collar piece, add lots of heat and steam, especially if you've got a natural fibre, and you can hold that steam in the fabric and it will shrink back a little bit, so you'll naturally shrink your under collar compared to your upper collar. This works as well with wool fibres. So if you're making a coat, for example, then you might want to shrink one particular piece of your pattern to help ease it into another. In tailoring, a clapper is used quite a bit to steam and shrink different parts of a pattern so that you can create ease. Now when I place the under collar on the upper collar, you can see that little bit of fabric spare all the way around, and that's because this one has been shrunk, so it's a little bit smaller than the other collar. You can use other parts of the clapper if you're shirt making, so you can press the very tips of your collars and ensure that you get the right finish on the right side. You can use the long part of the clapper to ensure that your collar rolls over correctly at the end along the collar edge, and you'll have a really crisp collar with everything just rolling to the wrong side where I pre-shrunk one of the collar pieces. Another example of shrinking with the clapper is when you have some darts in the front of a skirt, for example, and I only needed really tiny darts at the front, and because they were so small, the wool was just making it really unsightly, and also I was disturbing the check plaid of the print. So here, before this was sewn to the lining, I put some heat and steam into the top section of my fabric and then kept pressing it until this shrank enough for me to eliminate the need for darts altogether. It's a couture finish. You can sometimes do it on a bust start if you don't want to disturb the print. You've got a natural fabric. You can shrink the fabric and remove the need for a dart. It's quite advanced, but it's quite interesting to try, and it's always best to try on a test piece first, measure it, shrink it, and see how much you can shrink your fabric by with heat and the clapper. The clapper will hold the heat and the steam in the fabric for longer. Talking of wool fabric, this is an argyle wool coating. I haven't used it yet. It's in my stash pile for something special. But before I cut this out, you could choose to heat shrink your whole piece of fabric. So you would lay your fabric out on the ironing board, apply heat either with just steam or with a press cloth and a wool setting on your iron, and then with the clapper hold the steam into the fabric so that the whole of your piece has been pre-shrunk. So then when you press little parts of your garment during the process of making it, you won't shrink some pieces and not others. It's also good as well, the clapper, I've used it with pleather and with wool. If you've had your fabric folded for a long time and you've got some permanent looking creases, you can get those out with lots of pressure from the clapper and a little bit of heat. So I might fold this a different way now before I put it back so that I don't get a stress or a permanent crease in one place. But I do know that really I can get it out with the clapper. You might be using your clapper because you've got bulky seams or bulky areas. So on this pea coat, it's made of vegan wool coating, so it's not pure wool. So if I hold the iron on it when I did my test piece, it does go a little bit shiny because it's got a synthetic content. So all these little components that make up this lined tab button pocket have had the clapper pressed on them at each part of the construction. That way, when it's all on at the end, I don't have to really over press it to make sure that the pocket flap stays in place. I use the clapper throughout this project, in fact, so it's helped the collars to stay nice and flat. They were all clapper pressed before they were top stitched. And for this right angle shape here, it was ideal to ensure that this area had a really good smart right angle on it, again in preparation for top stitching. I'm about to start working with Minerva's quilted fabric, and I'm going to be using the clapper because this polyester batting inside, if you iron it, it melts and goes quite firm and you lose all the loftiness of the quilted fabric. So when I press the shoulder seams, for example, I'll be using my clapper so that even though I've got bulky seams, I'm not over pressing it and adding too much heat that will melt this wadding inside. This one's called Secret Jungle. Today I'm wearing the Tilda blouse from Maison Fauve Patterns. You can't see it very much, I know it's there. The shaping for the bust is with pin tucks here, and you can also mirror pin tucks on the sleeves as well, but I had a cuffed gathered version. It's really pretty. It's got quite a swing hem, so it's a really comfortable fit for when I'm sitting down and sewing. This is an Art Gallery Fabrics rayon challis. I hope you're liking these videos. If there's any tool or product that you've seen and you're not sure how to use it, do let me know in comments and we can put that forward for future videos. We love to see what you've been making, so do head over to Minerva, make a free account. You can add photographs and descriptions there and upload your own posts. You can also check out other Minerva makers and be really inspired by our really positive sewing community. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.